Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to our live call here. And I'm going to try something new here, and we're going to actually do this on Facebook. So, um, if you have any questions while we're doing this, now I know that there is a specific thread with the video. So I can see your questions as long as it's in the thread with the video. So if you have any questions, you want to write them right in there in the thread with this video if you are watching. Okay, so other than that, if you don't have questions, I am going to do a little something here. We're going to talk about increasing some of the value on on some of your existing video PLR. Okay, so let's kind of go through a few things here. Once again, if you have any questions, they don't have to be fully related to PLR. If you just write them in the box there next to the video, then I should see them, right? I should see them, and I'll be able to kind of get to them here on the call. Okay, so we always start with your questions. And again, your questions can be about PLR. They don't necessarily have to be on what I'm going to talk about. And then I will then get to my own topic here. And if you once again, now if you haven't picked up our most recent PLR, you can do that at theplrshow.com/new. And that one is still over there until tomorrow morning. Now, tomorrow morning we are going to be releasing a new bundle here called Tiny Reports, Big Profits. Right, so you can pick that up tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to talk about was, one of the ways that you could increase the value of your video PLR. And so one of the things that I would encourage you to do, and we've talked about this a little bit, and I'm going to open up Camtasia right now. And let's see, let's open up Camtasia Studio. And when we do that, then this is a process that I have shown probably only this year, probably one that you're familiar with, but I do want to do this specifically in this particular part of the video because I think that is a way for you to just kind of take what you have. So let's open this up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a project here that I had on Camtasia. And let's take this one. Right, so we're going to open up this. We're going to open up this on in Camtasia. And this is a process that we have talked about here before. That basically what we're going to do is we're going to allow this video to play, and we're going to allow the timeline to proceed. And then what we're going to do is we're going to then, when we get to the scene that we want to display, we're then going to hit Control F. Right, when we hit Control F, what we're going to do is we're going to create a PNG file here, right? And you'll notice here that I've already got some PNG files that I've already done this with. And what we're going to do, and in fact, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this in a new folder, and we're going to call this new test. I do want to go through this process a little bit in more detail. So what we're going to do is I'm going to name this 0001. I'm going to put a dash, and I'm actually going to call this what I want this slide to be called. And I'm going to call this view of iPhone. Right, so that's 0001 before needed. And then I'm going to let this go a little further. And then I'm going to do this again, and I'm going to call this 0002. I'm going to call this second view of iPhone, right? And then we're going to save this. I'm going to let this go a little further. And I'm going to call this view of settings. Right, so we're going to go 0003 view of settings. And I'm going to let this proceed a little further. I'm going to let the video play. And then I'm going to call this one 0004. I'm going to call this one welcome home. And what have I just done here? I'm going to do one more actually, because I do want to show you something here. I'm going to let this play a little further, and then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Camtasia's callouts, right? So I'm going to go into the callouts here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an arrow in here, right? And let's see, maybe I want to turn this around. And then I'm going to put another call out in here, and then I'm going to want to write in here. So I might change this to the text. I'm going to pull this over here where it can be seen, and I'm going to write in here, open the extras, open the extra screen. Right, and then I'm going to size this up so we can see it. I'll size it up some more. So I'm going to open that up so we can see it. Right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm then going to hit Control F, because I've actually got what I wanted to show on the slide. So I'm going to now hit Control F. I'm going to call this 0005. I'm going to call this one the extra screen. And then what we're going to do here is I'm going to proceed here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to do this one more time. So now I basically now have the file and the screen that I have the files that I want. So now I'm going to do is I'm just going to close this, and I'm not going to save it. Right? So I'm just going to exit out of Camtasia, and when it asks me if I'm going to save, I'm going to say no. Right? So then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go inside of this file area, and we're going to go inside of that new test. Right? And again, now this is something that I've done before. We now have these 4 files. You notice now that they're in the order in which we did them, right? And that's why I named them the way that I did, because now they're in chronological order, and that's really what I want, right? I want these slides to do in chronological order, and I haven't shown that effectively in some of the other ones that I've done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to now open this up. And we're going to open up this presentation. And what I'm going to do is we're now going to just call this iPhone screen, right, or whatever it is that I would be calling it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to insert that photo album, right? So I'm going to put in here a new photo album. I'm going to get all of the images in that area. So I'm going to go inside of my desktop. We're going inside of the PNG files. I'm going to go inside a new test. And now I'm going to grab all of them. And again, the fact now that they're in chronological order helps me, because I don't have to reorder the slides, right? And that's the thing that I've left out here before that I wanted to make sure that I covered this time. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to now do a specific picture layout, and we're going to put one picture on a time with a title, right? And so we can put this in here with a rounded rectangle. That doesn't really make a big difference. We can do that however we want. I just like to use a rectangle. Right, so now when I pick the theme, I can pick whatever theme that I want. I tend to pick the office theme because that's a plain white theme. Now you can pick whichever theme that you want, right? You can play around with these. I like to use this one again because it's the most plain. And typically, if we're doing PLR, I want to make sure that anyone can use it. Right, so now I'm going to do is we're going to click create. So it's going to now create another file. So what I'm going to do now here is I can pick up this photo album. So now what I can do is I can go back to my file here, and I can pick up the names from the files that I have here, right? So basically, this is going to be screen 1. Right, so I can name my first slide screen, whatever I put in that first one. Again, it's in chronological order. Now, the reason I did that way is that I can outsource this part of it, right? I don't have to do this part. Before, when Sydney was helping me out with this, it made it easy for her to follow. Right? I wish I could say that I that I came up with that, stroke of genius all by myself, but it really just kind of came out of necessity. It helped her to be able to do these faster. So we're just going to keep going into this screen. I'm going to grab this name, and I'm going to put that in my PowerPoint presentation. So let's go back there. And let's see, I've got 2 more to do. Got 2 more of these to do. And we're going to now, and 1 more to do. Again, once again, I mean, you don't have to do this part. I mean, you can actually outsource this part. So if it seems a little tedious, it may actually be that. But again, we're going to be able to outsource. Now, again, there's where we made the markings on the slide. All right, so now what I've got is I've got a whole notebook here, and I'm just going to call this iPhone screen, or whatever your workbook would be called. And I'm going to take this part out. So what I have now here is an original document, right? I have now, basically, I have a workbook. And let's say that what you did was you went and you marked these slides up, right? You could have put any kind of arrows in here. You can put some writing in here. And you can have this say whatever you want. Basically, we've taken all of this, and we've taken all this, and we've taken all this from the video, right? So we've taken all of this from the video. And so what we're going to do with this is now we're just going to save this as a PDF, right? So we can now save this any place we want. And I'm going to save this to my desktop. And that's not all that important where you save it, but you can just save it where you want. And we're going to save this as, we'll call this iPhone screen. I'm going to save this as a PDF, and I can do that inside of Microsoft PowerPoint, right? So I'm going to save that as a PDF. Okay, so now I have my PowerPoint presentation, and I have a PDF. So what I can do with this PowerPoint is I can turn that into some kind of handout, right? I'm going to go ahead and save that now too. I'm going to save that. And let's see, we'll put that in our, so we'll save that as a PowerPoint presentation. And now I can close this up. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to now go to, and I'm going to open up another browser here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to now go to Create Space, right? CreateSpace.com. I'm going to log into Create Space. And I talked about this a little bit on the call, but basically now what I'm going to do is I'm going to produce a workbook, right? I'm going to produce a workbook. And so I'm going to basically go into either the books. Now I can also do this in Kindle and Create Space, but I really only want this to be a paperback, right? Because I don't want this to show in the marketplace. So I'm not really looking to do this in KDP. I could do this by going to kdp.com. But I only want to do this because I'm producing a workbook. And so I'm going to go into do a new title. I'm going to call this title iPhone Screen Demonstration. Now, I'm going to tell you why I'm doing this. Because if I'm going to do, let's say I'm going to do a live meeting, right? What I want to do is I want to make it a paid event. And because I want to make it a paid event, I want to give people something that's tangible, right? And so to give them something tangible, I want to be able to give them something that looks like it's worth them paying for it. So yeah, they're gonna come see me, present this live, but they're also going to get a workbook. Now, here are the rules for doing this on Create Space. Now, you can do this if now their conversation with me was that you can do this if you have a book with a minimum of 27 pages, right? So you have to have a minimum of 27 pages to do this, right? So we're going to do a paperback, right? So now I already know that the project that I have right now, I only have 5 pages, but I could probably produce 27 more slides that I'm going to turn into a PDF, right? So I can do that. So as long as I have 27 pages. Now, again, one of the things they told me was that if I wanted to, I could put blank pages in there. And I don't want to do that, right? I don't want that to be the workbook. But again, why am I doing this? I'm doing this because it's going to be a live event. And on that live event, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring with me a workbook, right? And that workbook is either going to be something that I'm going to give to people who pay for it, or maybe I might do the workshop free. And then I might say, hey, at the end, I'll give you the DVD and I'll give you the workbook, right? So now what I'm going to do is just kind of basically, now if you've already done this with Kindle or Create Space, you can just kind of walk through a process. And the main thing I really want to kind of show you here with this process, let's go ahead and just kind of give this a subtitle. We'll call this workshop, right? And then I'm going to put my own, I'm just going to say Charles Terrence Harper, no contributors, no series title, publication date is going to be today. I'm going to save and continue. And so I'm going to skip ahead right now, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the cover, because this is the main reason why I want to do this, because I want to make sure that if I'm going to produce something and I'm going to give them a workbook along with it, I want to produce something that's going to make it look like it's worth them paying for. And basically I've taken the video PLR that I purchased, and I'm going to turn that now into a workbook. And I basically did that by using the slides. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm not a designer, right? So everything that I've always done with a design, I've always done that with somebody, right? So now what you can do is you can build your own cover online, right? So I'm going to click build the cover cover creator, right? So let's see. Hopefully this is going to work for us here. Click to enable the Flash player. We're going to allow this. All right, so now I can use any of their designs, or I can use a design of my own. Right, so I'm going to use their existing design, and I'm just going to now I can do my own design. I don't have to use theirs. I'm just using theirs for the sake of, you know, this particular session. And maybe in another session, what we'll do is I'll show you how to format, you know, your own, because basically what I would do here is I would edit the PSD that I got with the PLR, right? I would not use anything from Amazon. I would use my own design that I bought with the PLR, right? Because it's already professionally graphic. So in other words, here are the graphics, the way they look inside of Create Space. But if I bought a PLR package, right? So I can just go and get one of mine. If I had already gone through the trouble and I paid for the PLR, well, what I do is I get one of my own, right? So basically, here's a flat design. Well, let's see if hopefully this is going to let me do this. So I'm going to open up Photoshop here just for a second so you can look at it. And it might take a little bit because I've got quite a bit running on my PC. And Photoshop's kind of memory intensive. But we should be able to open this up inside of this live broadcast. And it should work fine. And sorry about the delay. It's just taking a little while to open up here. But we should have it open pretty shortly. And let's see. Okay, so we've got Photoshop open. And I'm going to just kind of show you what we would actually do. Now, again, maybe we would have to take an entire session to do just this one thing. But I'm going to just show you this in Photoshop. Okay, yep, here we go. So let's say that here are the graphics that I got with my PLR. Well, I'd want to use this, right? I'd want to use this instead of the one that I'm using with Amazon. If I had to create a cover, I'd want to start with this cover versus one that I got with Amazon. And so this is what I would start with instead of the Amazon cover, right? Instead of any of these. But like I said, I'm just walking you through this so that you can see the cover creation process. Right, so I choose one of these and I choose my own. Let's see. I see the questions now. Okay, so Felicia's question is, what's your learning curve for Camtasia and Photoshop? Camtasia is really intuitive. And so I would say that you could probably just pick up Camtasia. We did a course on Camtasia 8 or Camtasia 9. I don't think you have to get the most recent version. I own Camtasia 9, but I don't use the most recent version. I use Camtasia 8, and it's just fine, and it's very, very intuitive, right? If you really needed to get a course, you could get one. But I think that if you went in and you played with Camtasia, you could figure out how to create a video fairly shortly, right? And with Photoshop, what I'll say about Photoshop is that Photoshop has changed, and I think I've still got it open here. So for example, everything on Photoshop is now intuitive also, right? So if I try to, let's say I wanted to size this up, right? I could figure out how to do that with just by looking at it. Right now, that's what's kind of changed about Photoshop. It used to be that this was really complicated to do. But if I open this up on your desktop, you could probably look at this and figure out some of the things that you wanted to do with it, right? You could figure out how to work with some of the layers, right? If you had to go in and you had to look at some of the layers, you could figure out just looking at it. But if you, again, now this is the same thing I would say about Photoshop that I did about Camtasia. If you had to go get a course, you could get a really, really, really basic course on Photoshop. And I think we've actually got, I mean, we've got one that we've been giving away as a bonus, in fact, right? So if you can learn some real basics on Photoshop, and it's doable. And now I think Photoshop's $9 a month or $10 a month. It used to be really expensive and really hard to use. And now it's very easy to use and very affordable, right? I think it's $10 a month. So I hope that was a long-winded answer, Felicia. I hope that answers your question. Sort of long-winded. Dana's question is, am I going to upgrade to Camtasia 2018? I do not have plans to upgrade, Dana. I'm gonna take a look at it, and the reason I say that, Dana, is because I haven't seen any improvements where they're gonna put back the things that I find helpful. So, for example, one of the things. Let me close up Photoshop here. I think I can open up Camtasia again. I'm going to reopen up Camtasia 8. And one of the things about Camtasia, the recent versions, is this. Like, for example, let me open up a project. Now, in Camtasia 8 removed something from Camtasia 7 that I really like. And what I can do here is when I get ready to produce the video, I can produce an audio only file, and I can produce an MP3. And that's because that's what most people in our who want the products from us, they'd rather have MP3s. They don't want WAV files, and they don't want M4A files. And Camtasia 2018 hasn't put back that feature, right? And so it probably does some things much better than Camtasia 8, probably does some things much better than Camtasia 9. As I understand it, the rendering process is very fast, and they put some additional features inside of the library to produce some of the videos. That being said, my using Camtasia really revolves around creating information products and creating PLR. That means I need to be able to, as fast as I can, create MP3s and MP4s. And because of that, then Camtasia 2018 doesn't necessarily offer me anything else that I can't get with Camtasia 8. And as you know, Dana, personally, I have not even I have Camtasia 9, I don't use it. Right? I still prefer Camtasia 8. And I could probably use the same version that you're using, right? I still own Camtasia 7. I could probably use Camtasia 7 just fine, because Camtasia 7 allows me to run a batch job. And I don't want to get too much into the weeds here, but I can run a batch job with Camtasia 7, and I can produce an MP3 and MP4 at the same time. Right? With Camtasia 8, I've got to run 2 separate jobs to do that. But I have not seen a reason yet to upgrade, right? To answer your question. But great question. I appreciate it. Let's see. So Bill King, are there cheaper Dragons to Dragon Pro for transcription? Yes and no. Okay. So are there cheaper alternatives? Yeah, so let's say I've got a how many of y'all know, do y'all know Steve Rosenbaum? He's a friend of mine. We go back a little bit. He was telling me about a site called Timmy, right? Timmy Transcription. And if you're doing this on a case by case basis, you can upload your file to you can upload your file to Timmy, and it's 10 cents a minute. Right now, if you went and had a transcription professionally done, Bill, you'd be paying $1 a minute. So this is a great improvement. Now you're going to have to work with the file, no doubt. So you're going to have to be willing to clean up the file because it's going to do a machine transcription. And I don't know how much better it is than Dragon, right? But I guess if you add up all the 10 senses, it could add up to getting Jill says never. So yes, I'm gonna put I'll put Timmy in the comment box here, and that's something that you can check out, and you can let us know if that works. I'm gonna try it, right? I'm gonna try it, but it's there, and that's a little more affordable, I think, right? If you just don't want the bite of the Pro Edition. Now the other thing about Dragon is this. Now if you already have an existing version of Dragon, I will show you this, and I think I might have done this in the course, and that is that if we go to Dragon here, right? If you go inside the Dragon website, you can upgrade Dragon. So as long as you have, let's see if I think I can get in here. I don't know the exact. Let's go inside of here. There's an upgrade. There's an upgrade here. Okay, so you can upgrade Dragon from your present Dragon, if you have it, to Dragon Professional for $150. Now Dragon Professional Individuals $300, but if you already have any version of Dragon already, you can upload, and that's what I did, right? So I just upgraded from my present version to version 15 with this upgrade package, right? So that's another way to kind of get at Dragon without the big bite of a $300 software program. Okay, let's see. Let me go backwards here and see if I missed any questions. Okay, so Felicia's question is, do you have any recommendation for tools that you use to make you more efficient for your PLR business? Okay, so the way that I use PLR is I use it in trying to sell products in my local area in doing a workshop. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to turn the PLR into something else, right? So I'm trying to turn it into something that looks like it's going to have more value to it. And so basically I'm doing the kind of things that I did tonight. So for example, tonight, the tool that I use is Camtasia, and then I use PowerPoint. And as long as you can turn something into a PDF, right, you've got enough to take this from your video PLR, and then we can then take this very same thing, and we can then go to Create Space and create a book. Now, the thing about creating this particular book is I don't have to make this available in the marketplace. I wonder if I can show you this part. I don't know if I can, but I'm going to try. But I think I can go inside of one of my other titles. Okay, so let's say that I'm going to go inside of here. And distribution, right? Distribution channels. So here's what you're gonna do you're going to then say, I don't want this to be distributed at all, right? So then what's going to happen is this is not going to be distributed. So this means that I can then order this workbook at the author rate, right? I can order this workbook at the author rate. So I can order this to my house, and it's only got 27 pages. So it's probably not going to be that expensive. And I think there's a way for me to kind of go back and kind of show you one of the books I already have. If I were to order this at the author rate, let's see, let's go back one more. And okay, so I think, let me see if I can do this one. Let's see. How would I order this? Okay, let's see. I'm going to go back. I think I can order a copy. Okay, so let's say. So this page is this is 100 pages, this book. Right? So basically I can order this 100-page book at the author rate of $2.15. Right? So think about that, right? So basically I can take the PLR, I can turn it into a workbook, and then I'm gonna do a live presentation, but I'm gonna take that workbook now, and I can order those for probably less than $2 a piece. So let's say that I ordered 40 of them. Right now, I mean, obviously now if I have 40 people in the workshop, I'm gonna be pretty happy. But I could really afford to give those away, right? I could give away, I could, if let's say there are going to be 10 people at the workshop, and each workbook costs $2. Well, I could give those away, right? I could give those away at my workshop, right? Or I can sell them, right? I can say, hey, if you want to get the DVD and you want to get the workbook, it's going to be, $25 extra. And then, everything that I get over the $2 for this is going to be profit. Right? Does that make sense, everybody? So basically what we're talking about here is changing this into something that is going to give your customer like a higher perceived value, right? A really higher perceived value. Okay. So Felicia's question is our previous and our current. So our current products can be found at plrexperts.com. Right? Those are the products that I do with my partner John. And then on next Tuesday, right? Next Tuesday, I'm going to be doing my annual 4th of July sale. And annual 4th of July sale, what I'm going to be doing is I'm retiring everything, mainly because my daughter, who really runs he's just really handles everything in the background. She's going to be going off to college. And so I'm probably going to retire all of those products next Tuesday through the 2nd through the 4th. And typically what I've done in the past is I've placed a lot of those things at $7.40 in order to represent, 7/4 or July 4th. So July 2nd through July 4th will be our annual 4th of July sale. Everything is going to be $7.40. I'm going to put most of the things, I'm going to make most of the stuff available. Now the membership's not going to be that, and then our Extreme Business Makeover is not going to be part of that, right? So those are not going to be part of that. Those are going to remain at the price. Those are going to still be available because those are memberships. And in fact, at this point, I'm not even sure that Ultimate Insider is even available. So yeah. So to answer your question, those are my current. My past ones are going to be available next Tuesday, or next Monday, right? Monday the 2nd through Wednesday the 4th, right? Monday the 2nd through Wednesday the 4th at and we're gonna do 4th of July sale. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Let's see. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. Great. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? Well, okay, everybody. Well, I think I've kept you 10 minutes over. So I try to get you out of here in 30 minutes. And I think what we're going to do is we're probably going to do our weekend Q&A here for a little while. Okay, did I see your, okay, oh, no, I didn't see it, Dan. Let me scroll back up. Let me scroll back up here. Okay, is Dan, okay, you mean Daniel. Okay, is it specific for different platforms or general? Let me see. Let's see. Let's kind of go in there. And let's see. How do I get to that course? I'm going to go over here. Where's my Daniel Taylor? I'm going to go into the course. And I think I've got login password. I'm going to go in here for a second. I'll let you see, have a look at it here. Okay, so here's the course here. And okay, so he talks about selling PLR on eBay, on TradeBit, Facebook, Twitter, and let's see, create a PLR membership site, Digital Point, Udemy, SoundCloud. That's something that I have not done. I haven't really looked at. And then selling PLR on YouTube. And so, and then the lessons are actually Daniel, right? So Daniel's teaching this himself. And let me see, let me get back to, all right. Yeah, no, I didn't mean to, I didn't mean to correct you, Dana. I just, any question? Yeah, does that help, Dana? Okay, and Felicia's question is, what's the website for book publishing? It's CreateSpace, right? CreateSpace.com, and I will put that in here. Now you can also do this on KDP, right? So I think you can also do it on KDP, but it's a little different than just KDP. Right. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So for example, let's see. Now, you know, if you're talking about selling on YouTube, right? There's not necessarily secret, but what he's doing is kind of showing you some of the things that people are doing with information products on YouTube, and it's a course for people who are new to PLR and internet marketing, to kind of show them some of the things that you could do with it. right? And let me kind of go back here. And let's say create a real book from PLR. We just did that, right? So, uh, yeah. And let's see, maybe let's take a look at this one. This is something that I have not done. All right, so we're selling an audio file. Okay, now this is something that I know that Darren does. And so basically he's kind of showing you how to make it available for sale inside of this facility. Right, so some things are going to be more general for people who are new, and some things just might be a new concept, right? So this for me is a new concept. I'm selling audio files from SoundCloud. I will probably watch that. But other than that, let's see, is there anything else that I would probably kind of key in on? Digital Point, I don't do a lot over there, so I might watch that. And then to give away on Scribit and Isuzu. Right, so like some things are going to be very general and easy to somebody like you, Dana, because you have a lot of experience and you know a lot of this stuff. You've probably done most of it, right? But some things just, they might have one or two things new, right? All right, good question. All right, any other questions? I'm not in a rush, so I more like to try to get you all out of here in 30 minutes rather than me. I mean, nobody wants to hear me blather on for an hour and a half, but I'm willing. I'm certainly willing. All right. Any other questions? Okay, everybody. Well, thank you very much for coming out tonight. I appreciate having you all here. And we will talk to you soon. Have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.